side has promised grounding for this message. Now, you have had a total paradigm shift. Surprise, surprise. Sometimes shock. It probably was a shock. Now, this is for you to have a series of aha moments. Some brilliant ideas. Like, literally, like, electrified with the ideas. That's how this made you feel. But the negative, like the challenger through this situation, is it was some sort of bad news, a sense of powerlessness to a situation, and you're forced to make a change that you don't want to change. So you access the truth within the Five of Swords, which is going to allow you to create peace. Peace is key, because that's how you are shifting dimensions, healing with your pineal glands. You have to create peace within the mind's eye. Which is going to allow you to have a deeper connection to God and healing. Because you're going to expand with your pineal gland and your electromagnetic energy fields. So literally, this is happening to different degrees within you, within your light body here, with the masculine and feminine principles playing out, which is your mom and dad of the unseen realms, the unseen world. But without, in the templates, divine feminine here has walked away from divine masculine through this total paradigm shift, shocking news, powerlessness. She has had no choice. It's pushed her to go within and to move on. Now, where she's moving on, the key piece of information is she is meeting up with God. She's meeting up with God in order to transform. That's happening here. She has a total transformation. From old to new. Bang. Now, this is also another key piece of information. This is where the energy is renewed. Confirmation right there from the universe. The energy is renewed here. The connection between the masculine and feminine. Hi, Tofu. Tofu wants to have a little play. Hold on, hang tight. Within death, the matter and the energy have a new beginning. The masculine and the feminine. There's a total transformation here. Like this. Now, the Queen of Wands is represented, yes, by the feminine. But through the masculine with the wands, they've merged here. But through action and through the negative. Remember, you're whole. Don't romanticize your spiritual quest. If anything, remember, to a certain degree, this is a game and you're playing the game of life and you're unlocking the negative. And you're freeing up all that energy in order for you to create with. But this is the thing. You're bringing it back to love. You're untwisting it. You're bringing it back to the creator. And this is a very, very spiritual energy. This is somebody who has activated on their spiritual quest with their purpose, and they're understanding how to act with the Father, with the fire. Now, in getting ready for this reading, there was a certain amount of cards laid out in order to study and understand this message. But then there were cards that fell over to complete it. These two happen to be some of them. This total paradigm shift here that was painful, and it was painful. It was powerful. It led you feeling powerlessness. You felt shock. It shifted you to move forward. It's in order to create space for your abundance and to understand how to work with the Father and Christ consciousness at a whole new level. This is allowing you to create something with the Father in your sacral, and you're lit. You're lit with the fire spirit. You're lit with passion. Now something is restored here. This is emotional intelligence. Now here you see that the masculine is looking at the feminine, and the feminine is gone within with God and is communing with God. Here, the feminine is acknowledging the masculine, and the masculine is having enlightenment with God. There's an understanding here. There's a merging here. We're going to get an activation for that. With the new beginning. Massive connection to grounding. We've been talking about this last time we met up. We've been talking about this so many messages. Get to grounding. That's what we're doing here today, right now. And within this new beginning, the masculine wants to give back. This pain activated the masculine to want to give back to the feminine, because they've merged. They've seen that they're one. There was something that happened between the masculine and feminine with God in order for them to see that they were one. And your twin is you. So there's going to be some sort of, with you and God, the matter sees the energy, and the energy sees the matter, and you become whole. Because you are all things. So the feminine is seeing the matter is seeing the energy within, and this happens from within to without, with the law of one. And working with Jupiter is like, oh yeah, we're gonna create our abundance. Jupiter's making space, so this can feel like this. Look, more lightning, okay? But it's energies. It's energies. If you get out of the story of you and be an alien for a minute and look at everything as energies, there are energies to create with. And this is all untapped energy through the negative that most people shut down in. But you're learning not to shut down. And this goes into like that thing you hear a lot in the collective. It's like a lot of twin flames are wishing for soulmates, because this stuff is hard. This stuff is so hard, and it doesn't fit into the programs. It doesn't fit into all these programs falling into alignment with the programs. It's not like red flag this, red flag that. You know, this is this, this is that. This is totally what everything is within the moment. And, you know, you having this experience and recognizing the connection and the love that you have towards with this person, with God, and feeling the energy of the opposites. It's like having a devastating, shocking, negative experience, but still feeling connection, still feeling love, and two people being able to evolve through it in God's world with God. And what that means for you on your quest, and what that means for divine feminine and masculine. And this is like where this is so hard and it doesn't make sense in the 3D, that you just pray for a soulmate. But some want the total twin flame package, and this is wanting the total twin flame package and being able to let it play out, to do the work. Look, to do the work. The romance is the side effect of the mission. This is a side effect of the mission for doing the work, but it's the materialization of it. Right now, you're doing this all within yourself. And if you're like, oh, that's all unfair, Well, strap up and strap in. If you're going to do the journey, do the journey. Like, you have to start asking yourself some really hard questions now. It's like, are you going to use all your energy for complaining and like you can't get out of the quicksand? Or are you going to get stronger than the quicksand and move with God? Like, the choice has now become up to you if you're going to continue to torture yourself or not. And yes, like, there's some sort of acceptance of some evil truths here. It's like, what was Buddha doing? Buddha was learning how to find peace and be a compassionate, amazing person through the suffering. This is now going a step further. This is using the suffering to create with. And you are using this suffering to create your abundance with. So you got to go deep on that. You got to go deep on what that means. Because how you are achieving this through your solar plexus here is understanding the Father, is understanding Christ consciousness, which we are going to share that message, so stay tuned. But we're going to finish sharing this so it all wraps up into a nice little, nothing wraps up into a pretty little bow around here, but we'll make it look as pretty as it can. This is in order to become heart-centered. There is an ending here with a way of acting, of being, of creating with the Father, with the energy that now becomes heart-centered. And that is why this needed to happen. This needed to happen in order for you to see the big picture and to receive angelic help. And you are now being prepared for something. You're going to go back to creation from the energy. So from this negative experience, something was lost. Something was destroyed in order to be created higher vibe. And all that energy is going to be in order for a creative endeavor, a creative process, okay? That has now allowed you to become more heart-centered. So divine, feminine, and masculine are becoming more heart-centered. They have been activated with the portal to purpose. A key piece of information. This is right now where the masculine now sees the feminine. He understands how he's connected to her. He understands how they're one. Look, he sees himself within her, because look, she has the wand, she has the energy. Now remember, the feminine is the matter, the masculine is the energy. Now here, the masculine sees the feminine holding the energy. They're one here. This is the creative endeavor. Also, the Hierophant is Taurus within the tarot. Something is seen here within the void with the mother in the matter in order to expand with the Father, the energy. And this is also part of this activation of what shifts. So something is understood here about the Father, Christ consciousness, and it's this. The resurrected appears surrounded by golden light. A fiery web sprouts from his heart. To ignite our own Christ consciousness, archetype of divine love and righteousness, aligned with cosmic parents, the sun. Sun is the radiant principle of agape, love that is wholly selfless and spiritual. A Western Bodhisattva who realized and activated the essential truth. We are the Word made flesh, a direct channel for the love and healing energy of God. I am the light of the world. Two angels are present. Gabriel holds a book of the Trinity. Michael exhibits the compassion that subdues evil but does not kill it. Now that is the key piece of information. We've all been activated with no compassion, and we want to destroy what is evil. Okay? And separate ourselves from what is evil. and shut down with what is evil. Michael exhibits the compassion that subdues evil but does not kill it. This is the most key piece of information in order to expand with Christ consciousness, because love is the kryptonite. This is bringing it back to God. This is bringing it back to Christ. This is expanding with Christ consciousness. This is untwisting it. You bring it back to the love. It's transmuted. It's transmuted here in understanding this. And that is understanding what needs to be done within this situation. Whatever happened within this total paradigm shift, there is some sort of compassion needed to subdue the evil, but not kill it. Because it's going to allow the connection between divine, feminine, and masculine to grow, expand, and flourish here on their mission. Whirling, interlocking trines, stars of David, pointing to Christ's mystical origins, the primal unity of heaven and earth, and the divine Father, Mother, and Son. Reflection, healing. In something being brought back to God, because you've had some sort of gnosis and understanding that this is about the harvesting of God, of love, of what is sacred. And what is evil has been twisted. It's inverted. And now to bring it back to God, to bring it back to life, to bring it back to create the creator, to restore the energy through the matter, but it's through a negative experience. It's now having something so destructive happen, but it being brought back to God. But through this destruction, something was seen within God's world here of this connection. And remember, it's in God's world. That's the true world. And if you want to know how to get to these places, it's I am, and going within the present moment. And what are you? And it's honoring what you are, truth, everything, this and that within this present moment in time, and unfolding and doing the work with God in order to understand yourself and this mission in this place here. And remembering that the devil is in the details and God is in the unknown, but both are for purpose, because God created everything. So see through that illusion, and both are for purpose. But remember, what you focus on grows. And now there's some sort of growing with the unknown here. Something in the heart is going to be activated for the feminine to do inner child healing. This is your abundance. And love returns. Love returns through the cup, which way that's happening for you on your quest. And remember, not getting lost in a person. This whole message is about getting lost in God, which is getting lost within yourself, which is getting lost within your light body, which is a humble way. This is all about self-love and understanding your mom and dad within you, of creation, and how you got here, and your purpose and your story. So something is returned here, because remember, you're manifesting something with the Father here, with the fire within your loins, within the sacral, the center of creation. But it felt like this in order to achieve this. It felt like this in order to burn away what was lower vibrational with Christ consciousness, in order to force you to paradigm shift, because you had to be forced to do this. It was part of your quest. Now something expands here within the Princess of Cups that is heart-centered, that's part of this transformation of truth, because the Queen of Swords has been activated, and the Queen of Swords is loyal to truth. So your loyalty to truth allows you to be more loyal on your starseed twin flame quest. And yes, we're putting a label on it for a second to just understand what it is, but it's all just what you are in the present moment, okay? So this is activated your loyalty to truth, which is being loyal to God. And that's why this is so important. This isn't trying to fit in the programs of telling you who to love and telling things how to be and telling you why you can love someone and why it can be this way and that way. You just are loyal to the truth of what is, so you understand what is here. And you know what is. You got to do this work for yourself. This is not saying stay in toxic relationships. This is saying do the work to understand yourself, and the people that are going to meet you are going to meet you because they're going to be loyal to the truth. They're also going to be loyal to God. But there has to be some sort of time for a like evolution, a new beginning, like bringing it back to God. Look, something happens here within the Hierophant when this is all brought back to God in order to be transmuted. And the other cards that flew out here, okay, were positivity and a new beginning. And that is a new beginning with the Father, and what's positive with the Son, with the energy. And look at how dirty these cards are, because yes, I was cooking, but I was called not to clean them because it's like an extra level to this message. And this is happening through sensitize and Pisces in love. This is how you can't understand Christ consciousness unless you understand Pisces physically here, if we're looking at the zodiac. But we've been talking about you're beyond astrology, you are beyond this world, okay? Don't get locked into time and astrology, and don't fit yourself into boxes. You are beyond this world. But yes, in order to understand, as we're playing the game of life, you're going to understand Pisces. And this is the energy of the opposites coming together to create the whole picture. And Pisces is illogical. So it's like here the feminine got activated with some logic in order to do some masculine things. She had to do some masculine things. But then it's going back to be heart-centered. And love is the logical. There's some sort of aspect of this love that is illogical, that the energy of the opposites come together to create the whole, so the twin flames can evolve. But they have to be able to recognize each other, and they've recognized each other through a negative experience. If you are resonating with this message, and you got to learn what messages are for you. That's within you. And the last card right beside the plant and the pumpkin, which I love because it's so feminine, is love. Now, when you're working with astrology, Venus works with Taurus. This is the new moon in Taurus. And I've been trying to work on this message for 3 days. And every day there's been a pause to it, because there's a pause to it calls for a reason, so the rest of the message can show up and be articulated. So this is about materializing love through the atmosphere, and slow and steady wins the race. It's like anybody that knows Taurus, first off, Taurus likes to eat. Okay, they like food. If you want to win away to Taurus's heart, some food, some comfort snacks, some cuddles. Some cuddles. And how does love materialize in the atmosphere? As well as Taurus is the bull. So look, the bull in the china shop. And slow and steady wins the race, right, with Taurus. It's like Taurus is going to keep showing up every day, but it's got to be practical, and you better know how to use your money wisely, or you're just irritating to Taurus. But there's some sort of luxury materialized within the atmosphere, and understanding what luxury means. And it's this is the way that you want to be feeling. This is what you want within this new beginning. Okay? We will receive an activation for each of these cards, as I'm feeling called to do so. Let's just get the rest of the message here. In order for you to understand how to build heart-centered, you had to have an ending within the elements of air. That was God's plan for you. God's plan for you, and that it was painful. You got backstabbed and betrayed. But this is one of those situations where you look at, like, this was God-given, and everything on your spiritual quest is God-given. When you really surrender and surrender to the story of you here, and stop romanticizing your life and putting yourself in all these programs and boxes of this or that, but you just understand what you are in the present moment in time, and see that it's all God-given. There's purpose to all of it. So there was purpose to this pain, this betrayal, this ending, because you needed to get to a higher level of acting with love, of acting with Christ consciousness. And you were not doing it. Even though you think you were, if you're really being honest with yourself, you weren't. And it's like divine feminine and masculine were still too codependent with each other. This is about like a total recalibration with God. That's why they both have to go within and do all this work with God, because it's creating positivity and the new beginning. So whatever has happened here has created room for you to expand with your abundance and all of this energy. Saturn and the moon leading way to the next card. All right, fucking Saturn. Discipline, structure, time, responsibility, test, ambition, difficulty, restraint, grounding, practicality, self-control, tradition, realism, container, bones, maturity, gravity, scaffolding. This is where you understand how to use the restrictions of hell in order to expand and be real with yourself. Like, you got to be real. You got to be real about expanding within the material world with the inverted, more evil aspects of the bullshit. And you gotta like, it's all untapped energy, but bring it back to God, expand it with Christ consciousness. But first you gotta be real all about what's going on, and use your restrictions and time and the structure. Like, you're expanding with the structure here. You got to use the wisdom of being in hell. So also too, you're breaking through your container here. You've become more mature. Who knows what is real about gravity right now? That's all to do, especially with the missing scientist. But who knows? Like, it's got to go back within yourself and get lost within creation sometimes. Now, our next activation card here, we have the moon, right? So straight off into your feelings, nurturing gut reactions. This all started off in the guts. That's how we got here. This is all happening within your guts, within your lower world, within hell. So comfort, and it's all one. It's all one. Don't get it twisted. It's all one. See through that illusion. Digestion, home, family, conditioning, habits, femininity, lineage, privacy, embodiment, emotion, sustenance, self-soothing, moods, and mother. And this is the materialization from the unseen world, unseen realms, creating this one. And who knows, maybe there's more than one world, but we're going to say it like this in order for things to make sense around here, because when you're articulating what is inarticulable, you got to try to figure some bullshits out. Okay, so let's now get our activation for the moon. We're going to go straight to the moon oracle. Something is being invested within the earth, and it's connected to the red goddess of Demeter, which is working with Virgo and your ambition in order to create within the earth. Because in order to materialize through the earth with your light body, you need the energy of Virgo. Virgo understands how to create fruit with the energy. That's why without understanding patterns, and Virgo's studying. Virgo puts the love back in the work. Virgo can also be crazy too. Like, you better fucking clean all your bullshit up, or whoo-hoo. My shadow is in Virgo. I know all about Virgo, and I have a lot of Virgo in my chart. And Virgo's also the opposite of Pisces in astrology. So being a Pisces, I understand this as well. Okay, what's happening with the moon? Healing from some darker aspects of the moon. The moon and Saturn being used to create bullshit on the planet. But there's positive in everything. So there's positive to the moon, like there's positive to Saturn, and there's positive to all of it. Because it has to have positive here. It's whole. It can't be here unless it has positive. Okay, it has to have positive and negative. So do you. You have to have positive and negative as well. So reputation and instinct. You're healing your reputation. So this paradigm shift threw off how you feel within yourself, within the element of variable, your reputation. But this is the beautiful part, is what happened, your reputation was proven. So it was like your powerlessness to something, but through it, your reputation got proven. So the feminine's reputation got proven when she did her work with the masculine, and now the masculine's reputation will be proven when he does his work with the feminine through instinct. The beginning of an emotional relationship or situation in which feelings dominate a particular emotion, growing into something greater as time passes. Often the time that a new friendship is formed. Okay, so now we need more information. It's connected to what now is seen here within this third eye activation of Christ consciousness. Oh. Change. Uranus is working with your great genius through change. There's a shift. In your digestive tract. With Virgo, it all goes back to what's happening within. Remember, this is happening from within to without. So you're going to do work within your digestive tract to expand with your emotional intelligence and understand what is a fruitful situation for you or not. You're having an introspection here with the 12th house. That is Pisces. And expanding with Christ consciousness within partnerships. Okay. There's going to be communication that's going to heal the past. And you're going to reach some sort of pinnacle on your spiritual quest right there in order to cultivate. And something is now in symbiosis. And look, that card just flew over again to say that this is all clearing up your true character. And now there's movement. Balance has been restored through limbo, through Pisces. And understanding how to act with the masculine. And here's the rest of the message. So the Chariot is becoming heart-centered within your roots, within the truth, within the story of actually yourself here, not romanticizing your life and living in the programs and trying to put yourself in a box. It just is what it is in God's world, and you understanding this because you've done all this work. And now something is manifested here through your guts with the Father. And that's how you want to be feeling, through emotional intelligence. But this is coming together through the negative and restoring the positive and bringing it back to God through movement within limbo, having this introspection of the energy of the opposites coming together to create the whole picture for you, and an understanding of how to act to be more heart-centered in order to build with your imagination here. And look at that. The Ten of Swords just blew over. It was having an ending in order to begin again. And making peace with your ending in order to begin again. Because you had to become more heart-centered in order to become more you. And there's the new beginning. Right, because there was a debauch within the Seven of Cups. There was a corruption within the Seven of Cups of love, of the sensualization of love, of the senses, a corruption of the senses. So there was an ending within the elements of air in order to restore a new beginning within love, within positivity. And yes, we got to figure out how to get these cards cleaned up. That's what this is about. Restoring positivity, working with Christ consciousness, bringing it back to God, restoring the love in the bullshit. All right, much love. Until next time, you know I'm sending it to you, those good healing vibes. I look forward to seeing you then when we expand. Your failure creates your Ten of Cups. Much love.